What is going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media, coming at you live the day after. The day after what? Just a game, just another game in football. No, the national championship, and I got a few topics I want to talk about. As far as what happened in last night's game. What does this mean for Nick Saban and the Crimson Tide? And to help me talk about all this today, we got my good man, Mr. TikTok, Chess Hall. What's going on, brother?
Am I on Ballard's channel right now?
Yes.
Can I have your autograph, sir?
Yeah, you sure can. Would you like me to give you a signed Alabama jersey?
Please, can I have an oatmeal cream pie with it, though?
What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
I'm doing great, man. I mean, I was getting emotional last night because you got to understand this was not only, this was history right here, I think, what we saw last night. And again, did you expect this score here? 52-24, Alabama en route of a title over Justin Fields and the Buckeyes.
I did not. I thought that they would keep it close, but I was wrong.
Yeah, I thought it would be a shootout. Now, I was pretty darn close. I think I had 51-44 Bama. So 52 point. Dude, I was off by a point for Bama. And of course, 44 for Ohio State. They did me wrong with 20 points less. But I mean, it was incredible, man. And not only that, Bama won it in their red jerseys. Now, let me just say this. It doesn't matter what jersey you wear, but I have noticed the past few titles, ever since the first one, the team that's the lower seed is the one that wears their white road jerseys. And that's who's been winning it. So to see them hold it up there in their crimson jerseys was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you see? What do you think a lot of stuff went right for Alabama's defense, or did a lot of stuff go wrong for Justin Fields?
A lot of stuff went wrong for Justin Fields, and Ohio State was outmatched badly. They played their best game. This is basically what happened. Ohio State prepared for Clemson.
Right,
They didn't prepare for Bama.
right. They
They,
thought, I feel like they had the mindset we beat Clemson, so of course we'll beat Bama. Like they were thinking like Clemson's on Bama's level or something, which is weird. But I mean, okay, fine. Clemson's right there on the level of Alabama. I'll give them
I'm
that.
sorry,
But I
but
mean, this year not. This year not.
there's no way. I'm telling you right now. If Clemson played Alabama tomorrow with Trevor Lawrence and them,
They get
that
smacked.
the score of this game right here would be a little bit up for Clemson, but Clemson would still lose
Yeah,
because you got Devontae Smith, you got Najee Harris, uh, Mac Jones. Y'all were stacked. Y'all
yeah,
should have won. Y'all did. So congratulations to you and everybody in the Crimson Tide. For real.
yeah. Let's real quick see who all is in here. What's going on? Alan.
Hey,
So
Alan. I meant, hey, sorry.
Chess is wrong on a lot of things. Yes,
Sorry,
sir,
Alan.
indeed.
Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. My bad.
What's up, Jeff? Melissa May's in here. What's going on, ma'am? How are you?
Love
Roll.
you. Love you, Mrs. May.
Moti Law for Life. What, Ballard? You said crimson jerseys? I thought they were just red. Kevin Hart, we got a celebrity in here, sir. The midget Kevin Hart. Really
That
small dude.
that statement's wrong. I never said that. Never said it.
No, he said chess. Ballard said they're red
Oh,
and white. That crimson, red. I mean, okay, I messed up on that. Crimson is a certain shade of red. But I mean,
Ballard, screw that. Let's get into the game. Come on, man.
yeah, man.
But,
I mean, it was
but, let me tell you guys this before we get into it. We're gonna get into the game, but this Saturday on Unprofessional Sports Show on my
uh-oh.
channel, we are gonna get into the stats of the game. When I say stats, the stats. We're gonna do a first. We're gonna put highlights of the game up on the channel. Ballard's going to be our highlight guy.
Heck yeah, man.
And you know what? We're going to do even one better. I might say a certain word that I promised I would never say
Uh oh.
for this gentleman right here because
Thank you.
I love this guy and he's my best friend. But Ballard, this is your channel. Get it rolling. Let's go.
Yeah, man. So, like we just mentioned, they owned Ohio State last night. Not what I expected. I honestly am very, very proud of the defense. And how about the defensive MVP? Christian Barmore was the defensive tackle, just, you know, going at it.
Kevin Hart says, "What's the unprofessional sports show?"
What? No, he said, wait, is this the unprofessional sports?
No. Oh, sorry guys. I'm out of it today. No, this ain't the unprofessional sports show.
Hold on just 1 second.
You're good, man. I'll take over. So, anyways, Crimson Tide whooped the crap out of the Ohio State Buckeyes badly. Justin Fields couldn't get it done. He was hurt. It doesn't matter. That's not an excuse. Alabama dominated this team from the first get go. Mac Jones had a turnover, which could have been a huge difference in this game. But you know what? He said, no, 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 no. We're going to go down and we're going to score. I'm pretty sure Bama didn't punt the ball once in this game. Doesn't feel like they did. This was, I wish this game would have been closer. But like I said, shout out to the Crimson Tide. They deserved to win it. Their team was amazing, was good, was great. Uh, I'm happy for Ballard. I'm happy for all the Crimson Tide fans. Now we can hear you guys all off season talk about Saban. Because I know Saban wants to win at
The
least
bear is
one
broke.
more. One more. He wants to win one more.
Yeah.
Anyways, go ahead, Ballard.
Oh no, man. It's fine. Um, I'm kind of lost. I mean, it was just a great game last night for Alabama, and oh, I mean, I don't really know where to begin. I mean, it was. I really was worried because people kept saying they look unbeatable, they look unstoppable. You can't defend this. You can't, and they did that to them in the 2018 season with Tua when they got blown out by Clemson. And I said, you keep doing this, and it's going to catch up to them. But they kept their composure and they just kept rolling with it. Didn't bother the outside noise, and they got it done last night, and it was incredible.
Ohio State's defense couldn't stack up against Bama at all.
Not at all. No.
Nope.
I mean, it's not even that's not even so much disrespect to Ohio State. It's more so respect to Mac Jones and the offense. I mean, they took it like another game. Really, they just went with it, and you saw it all unfold last night. I think.
Yeah, I ended my stream early, but I did watch the rest of the game.
Yeah.
When the fourth quarter hit, I knew it was over.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when the third quarter hit, well, let's be realistic here. Halftime. What was it? 31-17 halftime.
It was 35-17. So yeah, just about.
Yeah, but you got to give Ohio State some credit. They didn't. I think they kind of gave up in the end, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
They made it to the game though.
Yeah.
A lot of
Moving
teams.
on.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're good, man. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, sticking to the game, but moving on to the next topic that I have. Would you say, based on what we saw and you could give it to the players or whatever, but this is probably Saban's best coaching job. Are we still in the Saban era of football based on what we saw from him last night?
Of course we are. We've never left the Saban era. We've never have.
Well, I mean, I only bring this up, Chess, because again, like it all happened after that 44-16 game. They talked about Dabo. They talked about Clemson. They said, Clemson and Bama, they got this at the time. It was like the same record and everything. Same record, 55-4, same playoff appearances for. They both got 2 titles. Clemson's 2-2 against Bama, and Clemson's 2 titles are against Alabama or whatever. And
Yep.
we could be in the Dabo era for all we know. We'll see what
Yep.
happens in the next couple of years, right?
Th-
So I mean, and this whole deal about Bama, Clemson, and everybody else. I mean, is it still that thing, or do you think it's safe to say that it's still Bama and everybody else?
It's still Bama and everybody else. Every team puts Bama at the highest pegging order.
Yeah,
Every coach wants to be like Nick Saban. Just like
right.
when Barry Bryant was on top, every coach wanted to be like Barry Bryant. Nick Saban is the standard in college football today, and there's no
Mhm.
doubt about that. No doubt about it. Jeff, we'll link you in just a minute, man.
Yeah,
Me and Ballard are going to talk for a few minutes.
yeah,
No offense to you, Jeff. I know you're a gump. I know. But I, I got one problem with the game.
yeah,
One problem, and I want your take on it. Waddle was hurt.
yes.
Why did he get put in the game to catch a pass?
I have I don't want to sit here and like you know how you do those things on some videos like what are you doing shaking my head. You know that one? Like how you do those? I don't know if I want to have that kind of reaction. I mean, I kept hearing stuff about he was getting better and healthy and he could be ready for the game. He just I mean, he looked okay, but
The guy limped off the field every time he was on.
right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it wasn't like it was completely damaging
I'm
him or anything,
saying,
but
I'm
still,
saying, I'm saying this. It looked bad on Saban, kinda. What if I was Saban, which I know I'm
you would
not?
have rested him.
No, let me finish.
Okay.
I would have rested him, but you know how y'all brought out y'all center and let him do the snap. Waddle should have come out and been out there with that happen. Let him finish on the
Yeah, how
field.
does that okay, so how does that make any sense? I you just brought that up. I just noticed that because they brought out what's his name? Landon Dickerson, who got hurt against Florida. He comes out the final drive and they put Bryce Young in there or whatever. They bring in Dickerson, who's back from injury, or not like back from injury, but he was hurt, and you let him come out, but yet what was it like the second quarter they were putting Waddle in there?
I don't
I
care
mean,
if
how
you.
does that make any sense?
I don't care if you put him in as a decoy or not. He wouldn't have been a factor in that game. Y'all didn't need Waddle. It showed.
Yeah.
You
It was
didn't.
so funny too. Prior to his injury, it was all about Waddle. Then he gets hurt. Guys like Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith's the guy we needed. You know?
Devontae Smith won y'all this game,
Yeah. I mean,
and
it's nice.
so did um. Oh my God, I
Najee?
forgot him. Yes,
Yes.
I get so mixed up on the names, but it's always going to be saving football until even when he retires. Until some coach does what he does, which is very rare. I mean, look, he won a title with LSU. He's won. Was he won 7 with Bama? 7 or 8?
6 with Bama, 1 at
6 with Bama.
LSU to have
Exactly.
7. Yeah.
So he has 7. Does he get one more? We don't know.
We'll see.
I said last night. I said that I don't think Nick Saban gets one more, and I
I remember you
wouldn't
saying that.
and I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think he retires after this year. I wouldn't be shocked if you see Nick Saban retire after this upcoming year.
After 2021.
Yes, he can't stay forever.
I'm not
Eh,
gonna sit here and I mean that's another topic I got here. Let's move to this. 2021, does Bama rebuild or reload? Because they're losing Smitty, Mac Jones, Najee, Waddle. We don't even know if he's going to go pro or if he comes back. But even if, I mean, you got a couple guys on the O line, you got some guys on the defense. They got young, inexperienced players stepping up next year. Now they get Bryce Young, that'll be great. And we know how hard it is to repeat. But I mean,
I think they're doing both. I think they're going to do both. They're going to rebuild
rebuild?
and reload.
Yeah. Like they'll have great talent, but it won't be enough.
Bama fans don't have to worry. They don't have to worry. They're going to be in the title hunt again this upcoming year. They're not going to be as good as they were this year because all the guys that were good are leaving. Jeff, yep, you're right. I got you. I got
Melissa
you.
says Waddle begged to get some playtime. He wanted to be involved with that. I can't blame him for that.
I understand
I can't
that,
blame
Melissa.
him.
I'm just saying it looked bad on Saban, but that's none of my business. But Saban is the pecking order, man. I mean, everybody wants to be him,
Yeah,
and I don't think there'll be another coach like him ever.
yeah.
I mean,
I
he
have
looked.
this.
Uh huh.
I have this feeling, and Bama fans are gonna crap on me for this, but I think based on how this year went, being undefeated for the first time since '09, because you look back at the other championships, 11 and 12, and what was it, 15, 17? They had losses. They had a loss that they had to use as motivation going forward, I think, and I really am at the point right now. I'm just so happy for this year's team. I really don't care what happens next year, whatever. We got this one to look back on as a special
Okay.
year in a year where we almost didn't have football. And then they wanted to pull this crap like, oh, we might not even finish the season, which
Mhm.
I've sat there and said, look, if you can start it, you can find a way to finish it off. But it's
Okay.
Alabama holding up the trophy in a year
Okay.
where we almost didn't have it. Go ahead.
So, can you highlight Jeff's last comment? I'm not going to read it, but just highlight his last comment.
Oh my
Because
gosh.
Waddle is no Georgia like quitter. P word.
Yeah.
He busted his ball for 10 weeks to play. He was cleared before that. I get that. But I don't get what you mean by no Georgia like quitter. No Georgia guys quit that I
Dude
know
quit.
of. Who's
No
nobody's
Georgia
quit.
placement. Yeah.
Nobody's quit that I know. So that statement's irrelevant to me. Jeff, I'm happy that you won, man. I truly am. I'm not gonna bust your balls about it. I can't. But don't bust my team, and we haven't quit on anything. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, Ballard, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, I mean, even if it's I mean, for all we know, this could be Saban's last championship. Now, Bama fans, hear me out. Not that he's going to retire. I don't think he's going to quit anytime soon. His contract's up after the 24 season, 2024. So, I mean, and I only say this could be the last because look at all the teams up and coming. Clemson's there, Georgia's there, and I mean, Oklahoma, Ohio State. I mean, it's not Bama for right now being the only team with 3 titles in the playoff era. You have Clemson who had a chance to get a third last year, whatever. I mean, it's I mean, they are at the top of it all right now.
Um, they are on top. Yes.
Yeah.
Jeff was talking about quitting the bowl games.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this, Jeff, and I think Ballard would agree with me. If say Alabama didn't go to Natty this year, right?
Right. Like
Say
this
they
year?
say they played in a bowl game.
Okay.
Do you think players would opt out on Bama? Anybody?
No, I really don't.
I respect that. I respect that.
I feel
Me
like they are wanting to play as a team until the very end.
personally, me, I think at least one or two would quit, but that's just my opinion. But my opinion doesn't matter. I'm just some fat YouTuber, so there you go. Anyways, Ballard. Now let's talk about since we gave Bama their credit, right? Let's talk about your picks. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. Let's go. Let's go to that.
here it is. Title favorites for next year. I got a list of my top 5 favorites in chess. I'll read it off and then we'll get into it and talk about it. See what you guys
Can
think.
I change the order around if I don't like it? Is that cool?
Yeah,
I'm
but
not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm not
I'll
gonna.
list it real quick.
I'm not gonna play. Okay, this is not okay. This is me. Say I wasn't a Georgia fan. Say I was the analyst at
Right.
Ballard. This is non-biased whatsoever. Go ahead.
Yeah, and mine's not biased whatsoever. So I mean, I do have my team in here, but it might not be where you would expect. Number one on the list, top 5 college football playoff favorites for 2021, in my opinion. Number one on the list is Clemson. Number 2, Georgia. Number 3, Bama. Number 4, Oklahoma, and number 5, Ohio State. And right outside, if I had to pick other teams, Miami, A&M could be there. Texas with Sark, that could be interesting. And
Um.
the rest fall into place somewhere.
So
But
I'm gonna change the order around for you. Okay.
All right.
Oklahoma number one.
Ooh.
Oklahoma number one.
Okay.
Because Spencer Rattler's returning. And after those two losses, they've looked unstoppable.
Yeah. And they
Number
don't
two.
lose a whole lot this year.
Okay, Jeff, we get it, but you don't have to gloat. We understand. Okay. Oklahoma number one. Because they got Rattler returning and all that. Georgia number two. Because J.K. Daniels, we haven't really lost anybody on offense. 3, I'm gonna go with Bama. 3, 4, I'm gonna have to go with Clemson.
Okay.
And 5, I'm gonna have to go with. Oh, this is a hard one for 5. Ohio State. That's my top 5 right there.
Yeah. And again, my list: Clemson, Georgia, Bama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and then I got teams on the outside of the top 5. Miami could be
I
good.
put Florida 6.
Yeah, Miami, Florida, Texas with Sark, Texas A&M, maybe. I mean,
Maybe.
it could be, but I'll tell you why I don't put you know Bama at the top. It's again they're losing. They bring back quite a bit. They're still going to be great. Bryce Young, I'm sure, is going to be electrifying to watch. But you're losing Mac Jones. You're losing Devontae Smith. You're losing Najee. All the guys that came in with Tua, you're losing all that. And now you're entering somewhat of a new era with this offense with a new up and coming 5-star and others along the way that are going to be right there to just
Oh my God. Hold on a second. Please highlight Allen's comment.
which one,
Please.
the rankings?
Please highlight it.
I'm going to
Oh
time them out
my
for this.
God,
Oh,
Allen. Wait,
dude.
okay. Let me explain this. For you.
First off, let's read this.
Well,
UGA,
okay.
Oklahoma, Notre
hmm
Dame, Bama, Clemson,
Let me
Cincinnati.
let me tell you this right now.
Okay.
UGA is not going to be number one. Sorry, they're not. Oklahoma's number one. Georgia's number 2. Notre Dame's not even in the conversation. They were lucky to get where they got at all. Honestly, Notre
Mhm.
Dame's even out of that.
They lost to Clemson and still got
Bama.
in.
If you put Notre Dame over Bama, you're crazy. Bama is going to be 3. Okay, I'm sorry. Cincinnati's not even in the conversation.
They're group of 5 anyway. I'm sorry, but group of 5 teams will never make the playoff. Even if they expand it, I doubt it. I'm sorry. But go ahead and continue, Jess.
And I wouldn't put Cincinnati in that. I wouldn't put Notre Dame in that. There's no way. I know you're a Georgia fan, Allen, but you can't put UGA number 1. There's no way. No way. Put UGA number 1. UGA's number 2. I'm sorry. That's just my and I'm not even. I'm a Georgia fan, and I'm saying number 2. You know what I mean? And Jeff says they did not opt out last year. Michigan, I get it, Jeff. I understand, man. I got you, bro. I got you. Bama players don't quit. Bama players are the greatest players in the world. They're Jesus Christ themselves on the field. We get it, Jeff.
Oh,
God's
that's
favorite.
right, Adam. Thank you. Notre Dame's on bowl ban from Lou anyway, so they can't even make it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Alabama. Jesus' favorite team is Alabama. We get it. Okay. Just kidding.
amen.
I love you, my Lord and Savior, Jesus. But Jeff, I get that you're a huge Alabama fan, but put the arrogance aside and let's be realistic here. Okay. Do you like my list the way I changed it? Yes or no? Honestly.
Yeah,
So
it's
that I
not
put
bad.
Georgia ahead
I
of
wouldn't say.
Bama.
I'm sorry.
So that I put Georgia ahead of Bama. That doesn't bug you.
No, no. I look, man. I have them. I have Clemson, Georgia, Bama, Oklahoma, and Ohio State. Now, the standard of excellence at Alabama for football, let's be real, is always going to be the national title, but you can't win it every year. And we saw with Clemson last year, they were right there in the title game with LSU. It's hard to go back to back. Very few teams have done it in history. And it's just Bama's going to be loaded next year. They're going to be great, but I don't see them being what they were this year,
Oh,
and
you
they
know
won
what?
so much.
You know what, Ballard?
So
Melissa May, you're in the comment section right there, beautiful. I say that because I
yeah, I
love
saw
you.
her.
I
Yeah.
love you. Your Mama May for sure. You owe us. Drop the link, Ballard. Melissa May, come in here, please. Please
Uh-oh.
come here.
Yeah, we'll get anybody on here. I'll drop the link for everybody. I don't
Rise
care.
up. You're a bandwagon, so no. Kidding. I don't care.
We can do it if we want to laugh, right?
I don't care. You do whatever you want, man. It's your channel. Melissa May, I want you to get in here and I want you to gloat. I want to hear. I want to talk to you personally one time. I've asked for it for months now. Can you please give us? You won a national title. Please, will you give us our grace? No excuses. No nothing. Nothing. Get in here, beautiful. Get in here.
I've been suffering the past few days. I had to change my logo for a week, though. Then I'll be back.
It's okay, Ballard.
We got
My
Jeff
son
Webster
is
in
here,
here.
guys. Come on, Melissa May. 2 minutes and we'll leave you alone. It'll make my day. Literally, I've had a crappy 2 days. Ballard knows, everybody. I've had a crappy 2 days. I haven't even
It is up
slept.
to Kirby, though.
I
She's
haven't slept since the national title game, Ballard. I
oh,
haven't.
wow. So you've been up all day.
I've been up for almost 2 days straight, bro.
Dang,
Because of
man.
stress and all that kind of stuff. Melissa May, get in here. Get your butt in here. That's an order.
Please.
I'm wagging my finger at you. Please, for us. For the unprofessional. This ain't
What do
the.
we
This.
have here?
Oh, here we go. I guarantee it's Rise Up.
No.
It's JW.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. What's up, J Dub?
What up, JW?
Melissa May, I wish you would join us.
One time.
Yeah, one time, just for a few minutes.
By the way, I love you, Jeff. No hate. Promise.
No, I'm just saying. Jerry Judy, Henry Ruggs,
Shit.
Jedrick Wills, they were your 10th, 13th, and 15th picks in the 2019 draft, and all three played in the meaningless Citrus Bowl against Michigan. Alabama players don't opt out; they don't quit. That's not the kind of personality that Saban attracts. If you quit, you go to schools like Georgia.
Right.
Come on.
Listen,
Jeff.
listen.
Come
The
on.
Saban haters are looking at an excuse to be
I'm
mad
not
at
hating.
him
I'm not hating.
because Waddle played. Waddle spent 10 weeks rehabbing like a madman to appear and make one catch in a national championship game. If you want to talk about a guy protecting himself from millions of dollars who wanted to opt out, like 7 defensive players from Georgia did, out of the Peach Bowl against a pussy-ass non-power 5 school, and Waddle's willing to spend 10 weeks humping his ass, and these Georgia players decided to stay home and play on the PS5 with no excuse not to play other than admit, all right, what excuse did they have, Chess? They had none. Their excuse was they didn't want to risk injury. So they're sitting at home while Jalen Waddle's spending 10 weeks busting his ass to get on the field to limp around and make 3 catches, 2 of which went for first downs. You reward that kind of effort. That guy knew what he was putting on the line. And if he's willing to put in that work and the doctors say it's okay, how dare you not reward that?
Yeah. What's up, Hokey?
Hello. Jeff, I'm sorry. I'll just shut up. I'm sorry.
No. It's nothing personal against you, Chess. I mean, I'm just saying this is a case where how do you possibly explain? And I don't care, Georgia. Let's change Georgia's name. Let's say Oklahoma State. You got a kid from Oklahoma State who's not injured, and he chooses to protect his draft status. I put in in quotes, protect my draft status, unquote. I'm not going to play in the bowl game against Miami. Meanwhile, here's Jalen Waddle, who's going to probably be the first running back or first wide receiver picked, humping his ass for 10 weeks to limp out onto the field. Now you compare the attitude of those two players and tell me who you want on your team if you're a professional. The quitter from Oklahoma State who stayed home because he was scared he might get hurt, or Jalen Waddle who did what he did. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying when you see that kind of effort, you have to reward that.
Waddle shouldn't have been in the game.
Well, that's why you're a Kentucky fan, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Listen, sir. I forgot more about football than you know.
Listen, the last time I took a shit, I know more than you know.
Okay.
You're lucky I wasn't on. You're lucky I told D4 and Kranzis and you're lucky it was Ballard you were going against the other night, because in the comments section, I was doing those trivia questions, and I would have tore your ass inside out.
That is facts.
Well, it doesn't matter because you can't tell me the difference between a 0 and a 3 technique. So I don't care anything about your football knowledge. Secondly, Waddle shouldn't have been out there because why risk several $1 million in a game that you're not needed in?
When he was out there, did he end up getting hurt worse?
But what happens if he tears his ACL, Ballard?
Oh my gosh, here we go.
What happens if Mac Jones tears his ACL? What happens if Devontae Smith breaks his arm and not his hand?
What
happens if the punter tears his back?
Okay.
Hold on. Wait. Can I say something?
What's up, Jess?
Ballard, just let him go at it. I don't want you involved in it because I love you, man. I don't want you involved in it. Go ahead, guys.
I'm sticking out real quick.
Justin Fields was playing with busted up ribs. Anybody complain about him? Question his decision to play?
Okay, J-Dub. Let me ask you this question. Did you need Waddle last night, a hobbled Waddle, to beat Ohio State?
Well, no, obviously not.
Then why play him?
Because the man spent 10 weeks busting his ass to get on the field, knowing full well he was risking his draft status. You reward that kind of dedication. You say to the rest of the program, when you work this hard, you will be rewarded.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. If he goes out there and tears his ACL, Saban's losing.
That's on him. That's on him. Not Saban. Saban didn't, and the university didn't order Jalen Waddle to play. Jalen Waddle came to them and begged them, said, let me put in 10 weeks of effort. Please don't stop me from coming out onto the field. I take full responsibility.
Then they should have did like they did Dickerson and let him play the last play of the game.
No, but Dickerson wasn't cleared to play. That's the difference. I was watching the megacast, and the coach's room was talking. Jeff Fromm, the Purdue coach, explained it away. He spent 5 minutes explaining away what Waddle's medical clearance meant, and that Waddle had zero medical chance of re-injuring that ankle. What he was playing with was a pain tolerance issue and nothing else.
If someone said he has 0% chance of re-injuring something that's been injured, they're a fucking idiot.
Well, no. The doctors are saying him playing. I mean, could somebody roll into his ankle? Sure, okay, but him running around is not going to re-injure it. He's not in the normal course of a game. He can't re-injure it. It's healed. Okay, I mean, his chance of re-hurting that ankle was the same as let's say breaking his left collarbone. Okay, so what it came down to, as Fromm was explaining, was a pain tolerance issue. And
you mean Brom, right? Not Fromm.
Yeah, Brom. I'm sorry, Jeff Brom, and Brohm. And the whole rest of you've got 84 other kids on scholarship, and how many five potential 4 and 5 star recruits lining up, watching 10 weeks of rehab, and how hard this guy worked, and the pain he was going through the week leading up to the game in practice, and how the other players probably saw him begging his position coaches and Saban, I can take the pain. I can take the pain. Let me get on the field. Meanwhile, at Oklahoma State, at Oregon, at everywhere, pick a team. There's guys sitting out because they want to protect their draft status.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing you're missing, Jeff. Most of these kids are coming from impoverished areas.
So is Waddle.
Yeah, exactly. So, sitting at a football game is going to give them generational wealth. They're going to be able to support their families for generations. So I don't understand.
I understand
why you would risk a kid's future putting him out there when obviously he's hurt because the first little pitch pass he gets, he comes up hobbled off the field. So obviously he's not 100%.
Okay. Now here's where I'm with you. After I saw that, after I saw him make the first catch, then I think I would have set him down if I was the head coach. Because then I would have said, okay, you got what you wanted. You got in the game. You got a catch. You contributed. Now I have to step in. After that first catch, I've got no problem if they order him to the bench.
I agree with you. I can see. I don't think you give him a catch at all because he could get hurt. But I mean, obviously,
but anybody can get hurt. Anybody can get hurt, and that's what Braum was saying. Was that the doctors were saying his chance of getting hurt was no greater than anybody else's. His chance of getting hurt was the exact same as Miller Forrestal's. So you put him in. If he can tolerate the pain, he's playing injured. He's playing hurt. Lots of people are playing hurt. And he made his catch. That's when I would have said, okay, Jalen, you got your catch. You got on TV. Everybody saw you. Your teammates saw you make a catch. You're in the record book as making a catch and a natty. Now I have to intervene. Okay. But up until that point, I don't see how you keep him off the field. I really don't.
You keep him off the field because you have 4 other receivers that are better than a 50% Jalen Waddle.
But what's important is Bama won the game, I think.
Well, Bama was going to win the game with John Mechie, Jalen Waddle. It didn't matter. They were the better team.
Yeah.
If they showed they had a graphic.
I'm kind of glad Clemson didn't get to that game. That was horrible for the ACC.
They showed a graphic. Mac Jones lost that fumble, but the other 5 possessions from Alabama were 7 points in the first half. So if you assume, okay, then if he doesn't fumble there, he scores. You put up 7 points for Alabama, and you take 7 points away from Ohio State, and it's 42-10 at halftime. Oh my God, are we looking at a 59-17, 59-24 game? I mean, as much as I loved Alabama winning, I said last night, and I'll say it again today, I'm even more emphatic about it today now that I've had time to think about it. I sure as hell did not see a blowout coming. No way. I didn't see this coming.
Nope.
Now, one thing I will say is that what this national championship game showed me last night, Georgia's going to be the best team in the country next year.
They'll be in the best position in the country.
Jesus Christ,
Oklahoma.
Georgia.
They need to go.
Alabama at halftime with a fucking
unless a random team pops out somewhere. Like, come on, Justin, do it.
I like Georgia and Oklahoma on paper at the start of next year.
Yeah, but
I like
next year we're going 0-12.
And then I think you've got Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama just kind of hovering there, hanging around as potential one-loss teams that can make the playoff. I think you've got Bama, Clemson, Ohio State hanging around in the one-loss category, maybe, or maybe not one loss. Maybe
Clemson's not losing a game. The ACC is going to be way.
Who's beating Clemson?
Yeah.
The ACC loses Notre Dame. There's 0 chance Clemson loses a game. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
No, here's what's going to happen.
I think you got Oklahoma, who has to really only worry about, well, maybe Texas, but I think they only have to really worry about Iowa State, who's proven twice in the last 6 games that they can beat them.
West
and
Virginia's
Iowa
on the
State
rise.
bringing a lot of
West
people back.
Virginia's on the rise.
Here's my wait. Let me turn my camera on. Okay, here's my opinion about coming up. Georgia's going to be good, yes,
Oh yeah,
but as a Georgia fan, I've been through tons of heartbreak. Been a fan since I was born. Been watching since 2003. Seen a lot of ups, seen a lot of downs. If I say Georgia does good this year, I say that we make it to the SEC title game, but I don't know if we can win it if it's against Bama.
the trick, I think, chess for Georgia, and I think probably everybody all in here is going to agree because it's just plainly obvious, is that a Clemson win gives Georgia a insurance blanket. Because if they can beat Clemson and then get to Atlanta undefeated, then even if they lose to let's say they run into Alabama, and let's say Alabama beats them, Georgia can still say, hey, you know what? Look at everybody else in the country. We've only got one loss, and we beat Clemson, and our only loss is to Alabama. That's the insurance blanket for Georgia. If somebody like Alabama, if Alabama were to lose to Miami in week 1, if Georgia were to lose to Clemson in week 1, then they have to run the table, and the pressure's on every week after that.
That's true. We keep talking about teams that are going to be great next year. What about teams that probably just, it's just not going to be their year real quick? I mean, what about the teams?
Virginia Tech.
Hold on.
Virginia Tech. We're going to be horrible.
What about the teams that are going to suck next year?
We're going to be horrible next year. Virginia Tech.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, Ballard, you broke up a little bit. Are you talking about teams that might slide a little bit?
No, that are just going to suck.
Oh, that are just going to suck? Because I don't think they're
Tennessee.
going to. I don't think they're going to just suck. But Notre Dame will miss Ian Book, and they'll drop back to a 2 or 3 loss.
Man, look, I was just trying to make a joke at Tennessee, man.
Jeff, did you?
No, Virginia Tech.
Jeff,
Listen,
did you?
Tennessee's dead.
We're going to win at max 3 games next year.
Did you see?
We're horrible.
Did you see what I did the top 5? Did you see what I said or no?
What? Who was your 5, Chess? Who was your 5?
I'm gonna repeat them to you. You tell me if I'm wrong or right. All right.
All right.
I got Oklahoma number 1.
I agree with that. They should start the season number 1.
I got Georgia number 2.
I agree with that.
I got Bama number 3.
All right.
And I got Clemson number 4.
All right.
And I got Ohio State number 5.
I got no problem with that. That's exactly how I would rank them. That is in order how I would rank them. And here's how much it matters. Because by September 10th, it'll have figured itself out.
Well, the only threat, Georgia. I hate to say it because I don't want to jinx it. The East this year, Georgia doesn't have a threat. Honestly, Florida's going to be terrible. Tennessee's always going to be terrible. Auburn's got a new head coach.
Vandy is Vandy.
Vandy is Vandy. Their tampon will probably be wet when they go to play us. Who else? Kentucky. No offense to you, Bluegrass.
That's fine. We're not on Georgia's level.
And
what about
Missouri's Missouri. And who does Georgia have to worry about? I mean, Clemson's really the only thing in the regular season.
I'll tell you who I feel for. I feel for D4, who represents about what would you say, maybe 250 million Americans.
Yeah.
Because unless something happens that we don't expect, and God only knows that could happen. I mean, I'm not saying it's not, but the 5 just mentioned, Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, Ohio State, all of those teams could have a regular season loss. But can any of us sitting in here picture a scenario in which any of those 5 teams actually lose twice in the regular season?
I couldn't picture that.
The Mark Rogers D4 argument that this domination is bad for college football could really come true next year, because here's your chance, everybody. Here's your chance. Ohio State loses Fields. Bama loses all they lose. Clemson loses all they lose. Here's your chance. If you're not Oklahoma and Georgia and already loaded, here's your chance to be that number 7, that number 8, who can step up and fill that role. And it's probably not going to happen.
Well, I'm looking real quick here at
we have so much talent, and we still find ways to lose everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to go through all.
Just fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Miami. Go through all of this, but
every single year we're loaded and we fall apart. I don't know how we do it, but we do.
Miami, Oregon, Texas, an up and coming Iowa State.
Miami,
maybe a reloaded Minnesota. Now's your chance to go from like number 10 up to number 4 or 5 in battle for a playoff spot. But how likely is that happen? I'm not putting $10 down on that. I'll go with the regular old crowd until I'm proven, until the regular old crowd.
Ballard, you there?
Yeah, I was gonna try to talk about what I'm seeing here. Now, there's already a way too early top 25 out. I'm not going through all the teams, but they got Clemson and Bama ranked 1 and 2 respectively. They got Oklahoma 3, Georgia 4, Ohio State at 5, A&M at 6, North Carolina at 7. Oh, Iowa State, Jeff, is at number 8, USC 9, and Indiana 10. That's at least the top.
That's because Iowa State's returning Brock Purdy, All-American All-American running back Breece Hall, and Charlie Kohler, the best tight end no one talks about. Yeah. But they've got to beat Oklahoma. This is a chance for Texas and Miami, and I'm sorry for Tar Heel fans. I completely forgot about North Carolina. They're with Howell back and those running backs back. Don't count out the Powder Blues. Gentlemen, I'm going to drop into the comment section because I've said enough and everybody else needs a chance to talk. So I'm just going to go into the comments. Thanks, Ballard.
Yes, sir.
As an ACC fan, I'll tell you Miami's going to fall off next year big time.
Ballard, you there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
I hate to leave you, man, but I haven't slept yet, bro.
I think UNC is going to rise up and take over the coast.
Tonight, you mind if I promote for a minute, Ballard? Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead. Whatever you want to say, man.
Tonight, I'm sorry if I started arguing on your channel. I feel bad. I'm sorry. J-Dub, love you, bro. You know that. Doing a stream tonight, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. Just hanging out. Bluegrass, you're welcome to come. Hokey.
Yes, sir.
Ballard will be there for sure. Always is there. Ballard's my number 1 fan, which that's hilarious, and I love it. And I'm his number 1 fan.
Oh, I'm your number 1 fan.
I want your autograph, Ballard. Can I have a box of Little Debbie's or cream pies, please?
Oh, we're all out. I'm sorry.
Can you at least sign the box for me?
Some fat guy on TikTok came by and got him.
I didn't do that. I'm showing up the OK sign, not the.
Okay, sure.
All right, man. I love you, bro. Okay, I'll see you tonight, man.
All right, thank you.
I love you. Comment section. See y'all.
Yep. What's up, Frenzy? How you been?
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Sorry about your Buckeyes.
Yeah.
Not really, but
I mean, I'm not necessarily the Buckeyes aren't necessarily my favorite team. I have a few favorite teams. Like Boston College, I would say is my favorite. But
yeah,
I was disappointed. Obviously, I was still rooting for the Buckeyes either way, and it kind of stunk. I thought they would at least put up a better fight. I still don't understand what they were trying to do against Devontae Smith. They had a terrible game plan for him, and their defense could not tackle Najee Harris to save their lives. That was the problem. Injuries, injuries are injuries. They happen. I'm not really going to use those as an excuse. But they couldn't game plan for Smith, or they couldn't tackle Harris. Their defense was extremely poor that game. It reminded me of like the 2018 Ohio State defense.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They were not on the same level as Bama.
Would you say that? So, as far as Fields and the offense, do you think it was Bama like the defense was too much, or did Fields not do enough?
I don't think Fields did enough. I thought Barmore for Bama had a pretty good game, but aside from that, I don't think there was anybody on the Bama defense that stood out to me as having a great game or doing anything extremely special. I just think Fields, he showed like one drive in the second quarter, that one touchdown drive or it was in the second half. Sorry, he had one touchdown that went for like a minute in the second half, where they went 75 yards quickly, and that was pretty impressive. But aside from that, I didn't really see any drive where Fields did much. he seemed to just not play very well under pressure. He made a lot of poor mistakes. Threw a couple near interceptions, like Sertan almost got an interception. So they didn't play very well.
Yeah, and I know that Urban Meyer did a pretty good job at Ohio State, and it's not like they just came out of nowhere this year. They made the playoffs last year, had a chance, lost to Clemson, but I really do think, and even though Fields is going to leave for the draft, he probably hasn't announced it yet, but let's face it, him and Trevor are going. But I feel like Ryan Day is definitely doing something for the Buckeyes, and building an elite program and building something for himself. So where does
I still believe Ohio State used our game plan because they were running the exact same plays we used in the first half of the Clemson game when we were beating them up.
Yeah. Yes, of course. Ohio State had to copy Virginia Tech's playbook. That was clearly the game plan.
Well, we were the only team that even kept it close with them, other than Notre Dame. So, like, it just,
what does that matter? They copied Notre Dame.
Anyway, for the playoff next year, I think it's gonna be teams that have already made. I don't think anybody's new. I think Bama's gonna be one. Nah, shocker there. I think Ohio State will be two, just because the schedule early on looks a little bit tough, but after that it gets pretty easy. So I think Ohio State makes it. I think you probably see Georgia in there at 3, losing to Bama once. I think Georgia overall might be the most talented team in all of college football.
I would not disagree to that.
Especially defensively.
I was talking earlier at the beginning of my stream that I really don't see, and I'm not downgrading my Crimson Tide or anything like that, but let's be honest, they're losing Jones, they're losing Smitty, they're losing quite a bit, but they're going to reload and they'll still be great. They won't be what they were this year, and they are going to take a small step back. So they probably won't be favored. I mean, they'll be favored to repeat, but they won't be the top favorite. Honestly, if you're asking me, I'd take a team like Clemson or Georgia, or maybe even Ohio State or whatever next year to win the title. But I like a team like Georgia, man.
Yeah, so I think overall they're the most talented, and I think they should start as the preseason number 1. I think they're going to beat Clemson. I think it's going to be by a good margin. They're going to beat Clemson. And I think they lose. I think they're going to lose to Alabama. I do think because that Atlanta curse, it doesn't do them good. I don't think they're going to play a good game in Atlanta against Alabama. And I think Alabama is going to get the number 1 spot. Even if Georgia's the most talented team, I think Alabama will be number 1. But Georgia's 3. And I think Oklahoma gets in ahead of Clemson at 4. I don't think Clemson's going to make it for the first time in a while. I think Oklahoma looks
who's Clemson's ACC loss?
They lose to Georgia big early on, and then they don't really have anybody else that's necessarily too huge on their schedule. I mean, they could lose another one.
Well,
but they might not get in at 12-1 if they lose.
They get in if they have one loss. They get in if they have one loss.
Not necessarily if there's a couple other 1-loss teams, and not necessarily.
Well, you got to think about it. If you have a loss, the thing to back it up is conference championships. But even that, like, who knows what the ACC is going to look like? How many ranked teams are there going to be that they're going to have opportunities to beat?
Clemson and North Carolina are likely. Those are probably the only 2.
So North Carolina, that's probably it.
I think Miami falls off. Virginia Tech, we're horrible. We're horrible. It's just that simple. We're horrible. So I only think it's going to be North Carolina. They're on the opportunity unless Justin Fuente somehow puts a miracle together.
Yeah.
Save his job.
I think you could see Ohio State, though. I think it's a possibility of them going back in the championship, although they probably won't be favored, too, just because of the quarterback situation.
Are they favored? Is it no question they'll be favored to win the Big Ten?
Yeah. Yes, easily. The Big Ten it's been established. This is their conference. It's without a doubt their conference. It's kind of like the ACC.
What do you think of Penn State was a favorite this year, and they didn't even do that great. They had opt-outs and everything. What do they do next year?
Yeah, and some more guys are leaving. Obviously, you're not getting Micah Parsons back, and you have a decent amount of talent leaving. So I don't think they're going to be as good next year. Maybe fringe top 25 team, but I don't see them just being on the same level as Ohio State. Michigan, too. I'm still a little bit confused as to what happened to them this season. I wasn't expecting them to be great, but I was expecting a winning record, maybe at least. So they're in trouble. So I don't. Ohio State, maybe it's Indiana second, and maybe Rutgers is even possibly third in the Big Ten East. I think.
Oh my gosh, Rutgers!
Wow.
I think.
Is it
I
going to
think,
be that
I
bad?
think the Big Ten West is more entertaining next year. I think
Rutgers.
Wisconsin's going to be good again.
I just put my
I understand
CFP in
Rutgers.
chat.
It seems like a bit of a stretch, but there's nobody else that's really incredible. I mean, Maryland, no. Michigan State's average. I just don't see anybody. I think I'm interested to see how Oregon is next year, though. I wonder, because I'm still wondering if the shortened season caused them to not be as good as a football team. So even if they're not going to have Penny Sewell back next year, I think they could still be competitive. Maybe they give Ohio State some trouble. That's probably Ohio State's toughest matchup.
Oh, y'all play next year too?
Yeah, it's a home game for Ohio State, though.
Oh.
Well, I know, and I'll do, as we get closer to the spring and the summer and all that, I'll do team previews. But Bama's next schedule for next year, they have they open with Miami and Atlanta. I guess that'll be the Chick-fil-A kickoff. Then they got Southern Miss, New Mexico State, and these states are to be determined. Some of them. So I mean, they got a pretty good path. But you got Tennessee at home. You got LSU at home. Who knows? I mean, is LSU going to put something together? It won't be 2019, but could they put something together?
They could definitely put something together. They'll be better than this year, obviously. I think a big reason this year was because they lost so much. It was a ridiculous amount of talent they lost that the team was absolutely
too much inexperience, basically.
Yeah. Once they get that experience back, I'm sure they'll go back to being a top 25 program. But it might be like 2017 where they don't crack the top 10. They're maybe top 20 at best.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, the home schedule looks pretty easy for Alabama. Ole Miss, Tennessee, you own them. LSU, we'll see. Arkansas. But the road schedule sticks out to me. Most importantly, the most important rivalry, or the biggest rivalry at least, I don't know if it's the most important, although for fans it is, the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare. You got to go to the Swamp to play Florida.
Let's
see what Mike Florida next year. Oh, I didn't
that
know
could
that.
actually be interesting.
Let's see. We also got.
No matter how bad Florida is next year, it could be interesting because it's always interesting to see.
I'm curious what Mike Leach does. We got Mississippi State on the road, and who knows? Does A&M get better? Maybe they take a small step back. They got A&M in College Station, so I mean that's a tough road schedule.
Yeah, I would imagine A&M is. I would imagine all those teams you listed are most of them are a little bit worse this year or the upcoming
next year.
Yeah, especially I think Florida is going to be worse. I mean, they lost the two Kyles, so their offense is just not going to be close to the same.
Do you think is Florida going to have to? I'm trying to think. How many shoes are they going to pick up before next year?
Oh.
Oh, these shoe jokes. Just to piss off the Gator fans a little bit. I mean, that's fun.
That's a low.
I even do that first.
Florida will crush the Gumps in the Swamp. No, not really, says Celine Driver. He's a Florida man. No, not really. They can go get some Nikes in the transfer portal, but anyways. It's fun.
Nick Saban should close his career at LSU.
At LSU?
Yeah, I know you hate to hear that as an Alabama fan, but he should go back there.
Why would he go back? After everything he's done at
it.
Alabama, and he's going to betray them like that.
He still likes it. He betrayed LSU. Well, actually, yeah, I understand he went to a couple programs before he came back to college, but I mean, I wouldn't be shocked. He said he liked LSU, and I'm pretty sure he said he actually regretted not staying there for longer. I think he said that. I think he
But
said he wished.
I would. I've heard them say that, but I also think there's a small part of him that would like.
I mean,
You know how close he was to not having this job at Alabama. Like I remember seeing a whole video where he was interviewed, and it's like when your agent talked to you about Bama wanting to hire you, what did you say? And he's like, I didn't want to talk to him. Like he had no interest in taking this job. I guarantee you, you ask him today, he doesn't regret it for a second.
obviously, but it would be interesting to see him go back to LSU. I mean, imagine how interesting that would be going
That would hurt
to
me.
his former team, then facing Alabama every year again. That would be fun.
He doesn't want to do that. I mean,
I would if I was him. That would be fun.
Eventually, I would get bored of winning national championships. I mean, like maybe 6, okay. I think maybe 8 is when I would probably move on. I mean, national championships are fun, but eventually they're just tiring and boring.
Never thought we'd be talking about national championships getting boring.
I mean, it gets it gets
Hey
repetition.
Nick. Hey Nick, could you give us one of those trophies, please?
There's a lot of repetition with it, and obviously, eventually, there's not really as much accomplishments when getting the national title trophy.
At least
Obviously, you're going to be more accomplished if you can go to a completely different program and then win a trophy there and turn them around.
The only thing Virginia Tech's ever done is beat the 2014 national champions.
Yeah, and then
you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Then Ohio State destroyed you on your home field the next year.
Nah, that doesn't take anything away from the fact that we're the actual 2014 national champions. I don't care that we went 6-6. We beat the champions.
I don't think that's how it works.
Just let us credit ourselves with this one. We'll never.
If you would have beaten Bama that year,
we'll never come close to anything ever again. So just let us claim this one. I still don't understand how you can take a program as historical as Virginia Tech and be that bad.
I'm not even going to engage in that conversation. I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you don't know what it's like to have a bad coach, do you?
Yeah, I do. Mike Shula.
Wait, what?
Oh,
Who?
Mike Shula was terrible. Jetmac, what's going on? Have you done any research? I haven't done much research, but I have seen some of the news. Bill O'Brien from the Texans, the head candidate for the new offensive coordinator job.
Oh my! Oh no! If y'all do that, that's going to be the end of the Alabama dynasty. Do not do that. Do not.
I mean, they got Bryce coming in, so I think it'll be good. Oh, he's the general manager of the Texans.
I bet Sarkisian takes Texas nowhere. I still think Texas is going to be just an average team at best. Maybe.
Oh, they've already hired Bill O'Brien. It's confirmed he's going to be the offensive coordinator next year.
Yeah.
As of yesterday,
well, your offense is going to be 0 next year. You're going to have to rely on the defense.
Has a better chance of winning the national championship and stopping that Bama offense.
I seriously don't see how you find I feel like outside of Saban, let's look at would you consider Kirby Smart to definitely be one of the best defensive minds in the country? Is that fair?
Of course.
Yes. Yeah. And then Sarkisian's got to be one of the best offensive minds. Look what he helped Bama do this year. Yeah, Mac Jones, when he was recruited, was a 3-star talent.
That's the problem. Texas already has a pretty good offense. They just need a defense. They might win a couple of Big 12 titles. Maybe they'll make a playoff every now and then, but they're never gonna actually win in the playoff by doing what they normally do. I mean, Kiffin didn't really. Well, I guess he did decent at FAU, but
Yeah.
I do not even want to get into coaching talk because I'm still mad we didn't fire Fournier this year.
it's okay though, because my Buckeyes are about to win their 15th consecutive national championship in NCAA 14.
If I had NCAA, I'd try to do a Virginia Tech dynasty.
Oh yeah, yeah. One of the teams I was as a head coach was actually Virginia. That was fun. We beat you guys a couple times.
That's so unrealistic. That unrealism isn't even unrealistic
There was
anymore.
there was one of the matchups was like a 2-3 game between Virginia and Virginia Tech.
All right, that's unrealistic. The Virginia Tech ranking, if you go back to around 1999 to 2010, yeah, that's realistic. Virginia, they've never been good. The one time they were ranked number 1, they ended up falling apart and finishing the season 7-5.
When were they ranked 1?
They were ranked 1 in 1995, the year Virginia Tech made our first Sugar Bowl. And then we crushed Texas. We didn't just crush a normal Texas team. We crushed Texas at Texas's peak.
You think Sark's going to be the guy to actually bring Texas back?
No.
I said no. He's not going to do much. I don't think.
He could do half decent, but not bring them back. No.
Yeah.
No one's able to bring that school back unless it's Nick Saban or maybe Dabo. Nick Saban and Dabo are the only 2 people that could even come.
I don't even think Dabo could bring.
Probably not. Probably not. Texas is such a shit show right now. I don't think anyone could.
Yeah.
I highly doubt anybody's going to throw Oklahoma in that conference.
Iowa State and West Virginia are in the
every year it seems like somebody new is going to actually beat Oklahoma, and that Oklahoma loses in the regular season, and then Oklahoma manages to come back and win the Big 12 championship. It happens every year.
Yeah.
Same thing will happen this year.
I don't know why, but Iowa State always beats them in the regular season and then finds a way to just lose to them after that. Yeah, that's a good point. Really.
Oh, I gotta head out anyway.
All right.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go ahead and end the stream. I wanted to do a stream for an hour or so. I appreciate you coming on, Hokie.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks to really everyone for coming on. So, Chess Hall, appreciate you coming on. College Football Frenzy. Hokie. We had Melissa May, Adam, Glittergator, Rowdy Rocker, Bluegrass Sports Media, congratulating me. I think he's just making me feel better because I lost that logo deal, but whatever. Rise Up, RMF Tide, Chris. Appreciate all you guys for showing up. Happy for my Crimson Tide winning last night. Dominant performance over Ohio State and Justin Fields. Made a decent quarterback look very pedestrian. And this one, I can guarantee you, meant a lot. 52-24, the final score. Number 1, Bama over number 3, Ohio State in Miami last night for the national championship. Looking forward to the offseason, getting into some, March Madness as we get closer to that, getting into some baseball. That'll start up in about a month and a half or so, late February. Yeah, man, just I'm happy for my Tide this year and looking forward to maybe seeing what they can do next year. Appreciate everyone for showing up and talking some football today. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff for more sports content right here to Ballard Sports Media. Thanks for showing up. Love all you guys. Have a great day. Roll Tide Roll. We'll see you later.